Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hooty Hoo KSU football podcast. My name is Griffin Nichols. I am your host. 7 in a row. Another Victorycast. The 7th Victorycast in a row. I'm going to get to it in just a second, but the Owls do come away with a 24-21 victory. We definitely need to talk about that. I do want to kind of go back over yesterday a little bit in the grand scheme of college football. Yesterday was kind of a weird day. Nothing really... Well, there were some, every single block of time, the 12 o'clock games, the 3:30 games, the 7:30 games, they all had some drama. Not many upsets until last night with Virginia and Louisville both going down. But if we start off, I'm just going to go over the games I talked about during the preview. So UGA smokes Mississippi State, which was a surprise. By the way, here's your public service message. This is why you don't gamble, just so you know, because yikes. Let's see. Georgia smokes Mississippi State. They were favored by 10.5. They won by 20, 41-21. Texas Tech was favored by 10 over BYU. They smoked BYU 29-7. I did tell you that this Texas Tech team is good. This Texas Tech team is one to watch out for. I thought the Oregon game was going to be close, and it was. It came down to a literal last-second field goal. Iowa's defense could not stand up at the very end once they took the lead, 18-16, in kind of that perfect Iowa game to get the upset. Rainy, gross, bad conditions. Oregon wins 18-16. A&M smokes Mizzou, who had a backup quarterback in, 38-17. The Bama-LSU game, which what is 20-9. Bama looked not great. In the Who Wants to Be There Bowl, Clemson beat Florida State 24-10. These are two bad teams, and it is easy to see when you're watching the game that both of these teams are not good. Like, you just see the execution, the talent field. Both these teams have just fallen off a cliff. It wasn't an entertaining. It was just a bad game with bad plays and just ugly, bad efficient. I mean, the whole thing was just bad. Hopefully, you didn't waste any of your time watching that garbage. The game that I thought would kind of go this way, not to this extent or not how it happened, but Wake bounces back after losing to FSU the week before 42-7 and beats Virginia at Virginia 16-9. Now, the thing about this is that Virginia's quarterback does go down the very beginning. They can't really generate much offense. Their defense is not great. I told you, Virginia wants to lose, and finally they lost. So definitely the ACC is shaken up. Cal beats Louisville at Louisville. I like the call there. It goes into overtime, and Louisville gets a field goal, their first possession overtime. Cal on 4th and 5 decides to go for it and scores the touchdown to close it out. I love it. Why keep going into overtime? You're not supposed to be in this position anyways. Go ahead and go for the win, and they did, and they got it. So good on Cal for doing that. We talked about the last game of the day was the San Diego State versus Hawaii game. I was saying how difficult it is to go from the mainland to Hawaii. It's an 8-hour flight, even if you live in San Diego. And Hawaii's not terrible. I mean, that's the other part. So they absolutely smoked San Diego State University. San Diego State University was favored by 7.5. They lose 38-6. It was not televised, so it's not like there was much to watch there, but yikes. That was, kind of see it coming, but still the end result was a little surprising. All right. Let's get into it. Kennesaw State beats New Mexico State at New Mexico State 24-21. Got a lot of mixed feelings about this game. It's a frustrating game, without question, and I think we're allowed to move past Kennesaw State kind of being, oh, what a great story Kennesaw State is. Their second year in Division I, their bowl. We can start kind of moving now. We can start transitioning because this is a real football team. This is a football team that is playing very well, that has a great record. And it's a frustrating game. I mean, I'm just going to say that. New Mexico State was dead in the water, and you gave them life to make it closer than it was. So it's definitely the tale of two halves, as a lot of this season has been. It seems like Kennesaw State gets out big in the first half and then kind of falls apart in the second half. Not falls apart, but holds on. And I thought with what we saw with New Mexico State, statistically speaking, that if you got to a big lead, then they'd have a hard time coming back. And that was true to an extent here. So let's go through it a little bit. Let's just go through the possession. So the first quarter, which was Kennesaw State's most successful, first drive of the game, touchdown. Second drive of the game, touchdown. Third drive of the game, field goal. Now, New Mexico State isn't responding to you, by the way. They're punting it. They're turning it over, they're punting it, etc. And you were just taking advantage, just rolling right down the field. 17-0 is the end of the first quarter after you have to punt to end the quarter. Start of the second. You drive down, you miss a field goal. Shocking. Don't love the field goal kicker. Your second drive of the second quarter is a touchdown. That makes it then 24-0. And that is the last of the scoring for the rest of the game. So that kind of tells you how the whole second half goes. The last two possessions of the second is a punt and a punt. You start the third quarter off, punt. Then the most annoying series of the game takes place. Second series of the third quarter. New Mexico State turns it over. You drive the ball down to first and goal at the 5. You get a false start. It's first and goal from the 10. First down. You run the ball up the middle for 6 yards. It's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. You're up 24-7. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. You're up 24-7. What is the one thing that cannot happen? The one thing that cannot happen is that you don't come away with points, because if you get points, then all of a sudden this thing's over. New Mexico State quits. They're done. It's an unsurmountable lead to try to come back from. Hopefully you're eating up time. So sure enough, 2nd and goal from the 4, we throw the ball and it's picked off. The one thing that could not happen. Now, don't forget, as I just said, on first down from the 10, you ran the ball 6 yards to make it 2nd and 4. Run the ball. Run the ball. That's all you got to do. Run the ball. You don't have to do anything else. So this is frustrating because even a field goal really makes it very, very difficult for New Mexico State to come back. Even a field goal does that. I don't care if you ran the ball up the middle for no yards twice, you're still eating up the clock, and you kick the field goal and it's done. I mean, perfect scenario is you score a touchdown, 31-7, this thing's done. Bring the backups in, run the ball, on to next week. But that's not what we decided to do. What we decided to do was we decided to completely collapse, pretty much. We give up the interception from the 4-yard line. New Mexico State punts. We punt it back to them because we're not doing anything on offense. And they go down and score. It's 24-14. Okay. We get the ball back. Again, we're in the fourth quarter. We're up by 10 points now. Okay, 10 points. Again, what do? We should run the ball. But instead, the first play, after we have just given up a touchdown, is to throw a pass. That first pass of the first play, once we get the ball back on kickoff, once New Mexico State scores a touchdown, we throw it, that is picked off. And what happens? New Mexico State comes down and scores a touchdown. 24-21. Now we have problems. We get the ball back. And, there's not a great deal of time. You're looking at about 4 minutes left in the game at this point. You're up by 3. We decide to finally run the ball. We run the ball 3 times for 3 yards. Gets to the 2-minute warning. We have to punt. Fortunately, New Mexico State is unable to do anything with it. But we give them not 1 time, but 2 chances to go down the field. The last time, as time's expiring, you're looking at about 30 seconds left. New Mexico State moves the ball 50 yards. They try to kick a 50-yarder, and that field goal was missed. 30 seconds left in the game. Kennesaw State takes a knee. Game over. Win, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's just the problem is that you don't have to be in that position. You don't have to be there. It doesn't have to be a nail biter, right? Just close teams out. When you're able to close teams out, put them away. Just put them away. They're done. They're ready to quit. Give them the opportunity to quit. And we didn't do that. We gave them life, and we allowed it to be a game which it never should have been. This opens up injury problems because your starters are having to stay in longer. It's just a lot of different things that you don't have to do that you decided to do. And it's just silly. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just silly. It's silly to do that. And it's just they played too well in the second half, and it doesn't always have to be the deep pass for a touchdown. You can grind teams down. You do have the capabilities. Your running backs are good. Your quarterback can run the ball and throw the ball. He needs to chill out a little bit, though, and not feel like he has to win himself. He has players around him. And stop making ill-advised passes. It just isn't necessary. There's no reason to risk it when you're up by so much. You can kind of start taking the air out of the ball and just kind of coast. If, unfortunately, you did watch the Florida State-Clemson game last night, what you would have seen is you would have seen a Clemson team who knew that Florida State could not score on them. They were never threatened. And so the entire second half of that game, because they weren't worried, it was very vanilla. And they just held on to the ball, snapped the ball with 3 seconds left on the play clock, ran it 3 yards, did it again and again and again, got a first down and did it again. They just were never worried. They were never worried. And that's the exact same thing here. We didn't have to be worried about this offense. This offense is one of the worst in the country. Their rushing attack is one of the worst in the country. Their passing attack is not great. I believe it's 112th. They have one receiver who's anything, and he scored 2 touchdowns. Now, again, if you're going to cover someone, cover the guy who actually does something so he doesn't score 2 touchdowns on you, but that's a whole other story. I have no issues with the defense, honestly. I mean, the defense got 3 turnovers for you yesterday. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to put yourself in that position. Every possession doesn't have to be a 50-yard bomb. It just doesn't. You can grind these teams down, especially when you're in the lead. Lean on them. Use those backs that you have that are good and just grind them down and put them away. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of a mixed feeling I've got. I think there's some bad coaching decisions there, some bad play calling, some bad execution with the players, especially in the second half, and just bad decision-making overall. You know, you can throw the ball away. It's okay. You don't have to make the incredible play because sometimes it's just not necessary. It's great that it's there, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't have to happen. Let's go over some stats real fast. Amari Odom started the game 14 of 30, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Again, the tale of 2 halves. The first quarter, the first half, 3 touchdowns, look great. Second half, 2 picks. Bad, ill-advised, bad timing picks. He had 5 rushes for 20 yards. Again, he may be banged up, or we're saving him for next week. We're just not taking a risk because it wasn't necessary. And that is something to consider, is that you are looking ahead, for sure. And you could definitely see the lack of focus in the second half. Maybe you think you have it wrapped up. I don't know. But it definitely changes because they're thinking about next week. And I'll get into Jax St in a few minutes. But just trying to keep him healthy is my assumption going into next week. Coleman Bennett, 16 rushes, 86 yards. Belcher, 13 rushes, 81 yards. Again, both backs have over 80 yards rushing. Why aren't we running the ball? It's not like they're stopping us on the run. Run the ball. Just run the ball. Ben Yard, who is just... I think he's the best player on offense. I mean, I don't think that's revolutionary, but the guy just plays well. I mean, he's just a good player. Just can't be more impressed. Comes to play every week. Hurt, not hurt. He always makes an impact. Even when teams know about him, try to take him away, he still makes an impact. He's just a great player. 3 receptions, 74 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Can't stop him. Kopik. He had 2 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown as well. Again, the defense continues to do what the defense does. Defense also had 2 picks in a fumble recovery. One of those interceptions that Kennesaw State threw, it's the one in the fourth quarter. The defense immediately responds with another interception. So just the defense continues to continue to play well. And yeah, I mean, I'm very pleased. I've been pleased with the defense for 2 years now, but this year they've just been great. I mean, they really have been. They really are the heart of this team a lot of times. They saved our bottoms last week against UTEP, and they continue to do it again this week against New Mexico State. Looking kind of across everything else, Liberty goes down yesterday to Missouri State. Jax State does win 30-27. It was 27-27 for a while. They did not look good. They were really struggling against UTEP. Delaware wins yesterday. FIU wins yesterday. And I'm forgetting one. I don't know. But anyway, so listen, it all sets up to this. 2 undefeated teams, number 1 and 2 in Conference USA, will be playing next week. Jax State versus Kennesaw State at Jax State. This is for the lead in Conference USA and most likely the home field for the championship game. Kennesaw State is the better team here. They've shown it again and again. Can you go on the road, which will be a hostile environment for sure? This isn't going to FIU for Vice Night and having 25 people in the stands. That place will be packed. They will be loud. That is a proud program. And it's all on the line. Go in there and take it. Go in there and stop screwing around and stop trying to be fancy. You don't have to be. You're good enough to just beat them. You know, that's something that I was thinking about last night about this game. You know, great teams, really good teams don't worry about blowing. They don't think to themselves, well, let's blow a team out. Let's blow a team. That's not how that works. They execute. They do their job and they execute. And naturally, because they're the better coached team, you end up getting a blowout. Blowouts don't happen because you are thinking about a blowout. Blowouts happen because you are the better team and you just do your thing. And that opponent you're playing against cannot stop you. Because you're just doing everything right. Do that. Stop making poor decisions. Stop trying to just throw long balls all the time and just go in there and beat that team. They're beatable. They can be beaten. They're not this unstoppable force. They've been better in the past. And I'll break this down more next week, but it is there. If you want it, take it. Go get it. You know, let's make this thing the season to remember. It may already be the season to remember. Don't get me wrong, but let's beat this team. Let's go in there and beat this team. What I'll do is I'll come back on Thursday, probably drop it on Friday, my preview for the Jax State game. Those of you going 2-hour commute, go and support your teams for sure. Hopefully the Bananas will be there. What's up, Bananas? Yeah, but listen, I know there's some criticism here, and it's deserved. But at the same time, make no mistake, I'm thrilled. I'm very, very happy. 7 wins in a row. Winning is hard. If that's anything this season has told us, winning's hard. So keep winning. Keep giving yourself a chance to do more. And let's see where the cards lie when it's all said and done with. But another win. The second road victory of the season, which there was none last year. And you can't lose sight of that. You can't lose sight of how far this team has come and what a great job this coaching staff has done. It's frustrating because you see the talent disparity between Kennesaw State and New Mexico State. That shouldn't have been that close of a game. And it's just frustrating. It's almost like you're not playing to your potential. But it does give the coaches something to talk about, which is good to focus in on. So I like that. And let's see what happens. Let's see if some of the kind of mental mistakes yesterday were because they were so focused on Jax State. But again, you don't want to get over focused. You don't want to be so tight that you can't just play your game. So it'll be fascinating to talk about. So yeah, I'll do this on Thursday again, drop the preview on Friday. I hope you all have a great week. If you're in the South, heck, if you're in the Northeast, it's going to get cold. make sure to run that water. You don't want frozen pipes. That is not a good time. Please like and subscribe. 5-star reviews. Do everything you can to support the program. This is going to be available on all videoing platforms: TikTok, X, YouTube, Facebook. Also, the audio is available there, the audio version, which is on all your podcasting platforms. Please check out the Etsy store. We'll continue to drop new items in there. And I hope you all have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Go Owls. Hooty Hoo.